Hello, mother funsters, and welcome to episode 13 of Bitrated, a podcast.
Yeah.
Today, I am Mellar21, as I am every day, and I am joined by Mr. Zendo,
Yo, what's going on, guys?
co-host, and our guest today is Inkycat. Whoop, 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 whoop. Awesome. I don't think we've got anything to say before we begin. I think we should just go straight into it. Do you reckon?
Let's get into it. Let's
get
do
into
it.
Inky
Down
Cat,
to business.
let's start this by talking about your stream. So introduce yourself and talk about your stream a little.
Oh, that's a very loaded question. I'm Inkycat or Inky or Cat, whatever you'd like to call me. Obviously, streamer from the UK. Been streaming for about 2
Woo.
years now, or just about to hit 2 years. I guess I've been affiliate for nearly a year and a half. And I stream a variety of games. I did start off in Awesome Noughts, and I still go back to that every now and then. But I like to stream other games. I've been streaming recently like Gmod, Overwatch, Don't Starve, you name it. I've probably played it in some form.
Fantastic. And what's your favourite game that you've played? Do you reckon out of those that you?
That's interesting. Well, Gmod actually I've been really enjoying recently. I played that again for like the first time in about 2 years, and I forgot how fun the game was, and also how terrifying it is as well. We were playing Trouble in Terrorist Town, and I apparently just have a very itchy sort of trigger finger where I was going around killing everyone, even though I was innocent.
Wow, not that instant then.
I mean, I got it right a few times, but then everyone afterwards was just like, I don't know if you're just a traitor or you're just terrible at this game. The latter.
Fantastic. So what have you been streaming most recently?
Yeah, Gmod. A bit of Don't Starve, played that, and a bit of Awesome Noughts. Kind of, yeah, like I said, it's kind of just a variety of things, really.
Don't Starve, is that Don't Starve Together, or is that just you and your
Oh
brother?
yeah,
together,
they're
yeah.
discovered together. Again, that's just I like playing games that I've not really played before because I always get a bit confused, but it's always fun trying to work them out. And I think everybody else gets frustrated / finds it funny when I don't know how to play the game and I do things wrong.
Who do you play with? Do you play with like friends, with followers, or a mixture of both? Or
A mixture of both, I think. Like I say followers, but they're all my friends, really. Like I know everyone.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's
Right.
like it's hard to say like here's all my followers, and then like, well, they're actually all my friends. I actually love them all to pieces.
aww.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. Well, we always ask on a stream, like, have you ever streamed a game and you've just really not enjoyed it?
Or it's gone really badly, but
Yeah.
you've enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
The second one's easy. It's Gmod that's gone really badly, but I've really enjoyed the game. Like I said, I used to stream Awesome Noughts a lot, but I don't as much anymore because I don't get as much enjoyment out of the game. But it's still fun to dip into every now and then because it's like I enjoy playing with friends, I think, so I more play it if I play with other people because they make the game more enjoyable for me. And the community has been so lovely around it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But when you say it didn't go so well, what do you mean by that?
Oh, you've gone black on all your streams.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I think he's just fixing it now.
just fixing it now.
We're all pixelated for some reason.
It should be better now.
Ew, that's what's called bitrated, pixelated.
It's not bit right about technical issues. So yeah.
I think we're on episode 13 and we've had like one episode where we had no technical issues whatsoever. Does that look better
Yeah.
now? I think that looks much better, doesn't it?
That looks great. Yeah, that was fine.
Do you know what's funny? Right, we were on
What?
Western Europe, which is the closest server to us, and we changed to Central Europe, which is further away, and that was better.
Oh.
Mental. But I'm glad we got it fixed. It's fine.
No worries.
But yeah, it's a new game that you've played where you've like, oh, I love this game. This is great, and then no one's liked it. Oh, everyone's like, oh, you're shit at this. No.
It's probably more games like I love playing Overwatch, but like people don't watch me play that because I don't think it's that interesting to watch unless you're
Yeah.
like a really good player. And I'm kind of like sort of an average sort of player at it. I'm not bad, but I'm not like great either. I'm kind of I sit in the
Mhm.
middle. So I feel like people don't enjoy me as much when I play that game, because it's not that interesting to watch.
I know what you mean with Overwatch specifically. Sorry, just jump in there. Just because Overwatch requires a little, because it's constant almost, unless you like die, where it's like a few seconds on respawn. There's no downtime to think about anything but Overwatch, so it's really hard to stream and look at chat and be like, hey, now we're gonna flank to the left, and like do the fun streamer thing where you narrate what you're doing, because you're in that clutch moment all the time with Overwatch, and if you're not a good player, you need the entertainment, like you need the one or the other. So, and I think Overwatch is really hard in particular. I think I've only streamed it a few times for that reason.
I've noticed a very similar thing. Yeah, exactly with Overwatch, especially Overwatch, because I've seen there's quite a few streamers that do quite a lot of like first-person shooters, and they'll play like I don't know, like Fortnite and Apex and Overwatch, and with like Apex and that kind of game, you do get quite a lot of downtime when you're running somewhere where you can react to chat.
You're running,
or when you're dropping, all that kind of thing. There's like no downtime in Overwatch at all. Even when you're dying, like even when you've just died, I've noticed that quite a lot of players.
That quick, it's like
it's not just quick, but I think a lot of people when they play Overwatch, they're still thinking about what's just happened while it's respawning, so they don't respond to chat until the game is over. And like most games, like Overwatch games last like 15 minutes or so.
So because it's such a big game, it's instant queue into another game. So there is no downtime.
There's a couple of streamers that I do quite like, and I like to have a chat to them. Where if they're playing Overwatch, I'm probably going to go somewhere else because I can't have a chat to them if they're going to be playing Overwatch. So it is a great game, but it's not good for chat.
It's a really fun game that I really enjoy playing. But like you guys said, whereas like if I was playing something like Awesome Lot, Twitch does require a little bit of concentration, but I spend a lot of time looking at chat as well. Whereas Overwatch, it is very just dead on. There's no sort of downtime really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So on the flip side of that, then, have you ever had a game that you've not enjoyed, but you seem to got like a lot of people interested in, and like chat's been great, and lots of people have watched?
I think what I said earlier, just I was about to say, it's Awesome Lots. There you go. Didn't think of words there. Yeah, Awesome Lots, where I've not enjoyed it as much recently.
Oh, I see. Right.
It's fun when I play with friends. Like, I'm glad that I get to play with them, but it's like, I don't like, because I think it's just because I've played a lot of it, and I've played it over like the past how long has it been out? 5-6 years. I have been there since I haven't been there since the beginning, but near the beginning, basically, when my friends at school got me into the game. But because I've been playing so many years and there's not been that many updates to the game, I've not found it as interesting to play. But for some reason, it's the game that people come back to watch me play, even though I'm actually terrible at the game.
It's something that I think it was either Linky or Loth said about the Awesome Noughts have like their own watchers, and there'll be people that watch you just for Awesome Noughts, but as soon as you play something else, they're gone, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that's quite interesting.
And also, like, there's like with Overwatch, there's a lot of content that comes out. Like the summer games just got released today.
Yes,
obviously new skins are constantly updating. They're constantly adding new game modes. Whereas Awesome Noughts, they do add new game modes, but nobody really plays them. So like I'll queue to try and play the new game mode, but nobody will be playing it. So because there's not that many people that online playing it, so they're just playing the normal game. So it's just kind of stuff like, well, we can't really try out the new stuff because no one's playing it. So you end up just playing the normal sort of quick play, and then it's not fun because you played it a million times before, and there's only like 5 or 6 maps.
I see. I noticed that the queues for Awesome Noughts are quite long, but it kind of opens you up for just chatting stream to a certain degree, doesn't it? Oh my, okay.
So what's going on in the future of the Inkycat Twitch stream? Like, what's going on there? What's any plans? Anything that you're about to be playing that you haven't played before?
I haven't got plans for games as such, but it's more plans for if I hit like follower goals. So I've decided if I hit 200 followers, which is actually quite scarily soon, I'm going to play a scary game, because I am terrified of horror games. Like, I avoid them at all costs, and if I ever do play horror, I tend to watch other people playing, even then I'm looking at the screen. Or if I do play horror games, I have to get a friend with me to play them because I'm terrified. So I'm thinking, as like trying to get over my phobia, I'm going to try to play that at 200. 300, I want to do a 12-hour stream.
Okay.
I've not really done anything longer than about a 4-hour stream. And if I hit 500 by the end of the year, which is a very, very ambitious goal that I don't know if I'll ever reach, I want to do a 24-hour stream. But I also want to raise money for charity during that time. So I want to do a 24-hour like charity stream, basically. If I hit 500 followers, which I
No,
do.
that's really cool ideas and stuff. I like that.
I have to say, I love how you've got it all planned out. That is amazing.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, I want to say about the horror game. I completely agree. I suck at I get really scared at horror games as well.
I get really
really
scared
into
just watching people play.
Yeah, and then I jump and I make such a loud noise when I jump. This Halloween gone, I streamed Visage, and I did not get far in the game. I sucked at it. But my god, it took me a while to get to the point where it was scary, just because I was jumping at my own shadow. I was looking around, and looking on the bookshelves, and like I was looking for things that were just in the background, like there wasn't even anything scary there. I was like, oh, what about this book? Maybe this means something. And then I just like, I was getting scared. I was scaring myself before a scary thing happened.
I think no. Oh, come on.
No, I'm just totally the same.
I think I'd genuinely have a heart attack if I did like a horror game. I'm way too jumpy. I had a moment in my previous stream where I was listening to a song. Someone had put this really beautiful, like lovely, quiet song on the bot. And I was sitting there watching the video, like just really enjoying the song. And I've got a thing where certain people enter my chat, it plays a sound.
Yeah.
And it was a song of Maria like this. I was sitting there like this. It just goes Maria. I jumped a mile, and I actually started feeling like lightheaded, like I was going to pass out because it was like all of the blood sort of fell away from my head or went to my head or whatever. It just scared the absolute bejesus out of me. And I was sitting there thinking, if that can like nearly make me pass out, I'm not playing a horror game on stream.
No, I have that. Like I think like if someone follows me and it's the follower alert, and I'm just like, oh, in a good way. It's like that, and then what else is there? Yeah, like if just the people host me, I think that makes a scarier sound effect. Or like I think like a long while back, like when I just started streaming, I played Fortnite, walked into houses and then shot, and I'd shoot back and by accident.
Sorry, we lost a bit of that. Could you say that again? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we got to where what about you played Fortnite?
Oh, and like just that game scares me. Like when people like creep up behind me and start shooting. And like I just shoot back, even if it's like a teammate, and I'm just like, oh shit. But yeah, I just jump. I'm a very jumpy person.
Minecraft scares Linky Fox. That's amazing.
Dude, Minecraft is so scary, like especially when you're like mining deep in the earth, and then like a creeper comes up behind you or a zombie, and you're just like, well, there's nowhere to run. And it activates your fight or flight instinct.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of creepiness in Minecraft for sure. Like the music is just really like, oh, it gets you, doesn't it? And it's just, boo boo boo, you know.
I don't know. I get relaxed by the music in Minecraft to a point where I'm too relaxed and I should be on edge because I am in a dangerous situation. I'm like just mining away, and then a fucking creeper comes behind me, and I'm just fuck.
That's one of the many reasons I love it.
I get lost in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Shall we actually take this moment to watch the clip?
I was about to say, yeah. So we got two clips from Inkycat.
I hope I put these in the right order. Right, let's go to and watch these two. So we're all going to watch these together. So if you load up the first of the Inkycat little videos, little clips. Are we all ready with this?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to do.
Apologize for the church bells in the background. They just randomly decide to ring whenever they want. There's no rhyme or reason for them.
Alright, so we're going to watch the first clip in 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to go and hide in a medkit up.
Yep. I can hear someone walking.
Yeah, so can I.
You got me.
Oh no!
There's two.
Alright, I'll go and kill myself.
There it is. What the hell is this weapon?
Oh, I got someone!
Go and get anyone. Do it! He's got ammo left!
I've got no ammo left! Crap! Crap!
Wait, pick that one.
It has one in it! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god.
Well played.
It was basically they were all...
Oh my god!
That was the most cheese 1v1.
I love that comment at the end. So talk us through that. That was amazing.
So it was So we were playing the game mode. I think it was called like High Explosives or something. Just for fun.
Explosives, yeah.
Yeah. So you just get grenade launchers and rocket launchers. And obviously I'm not very good at Fortnite. I'm hiding. I think I've just been hit a load of times, so I'm hit there healing up, and then all my teammates die, and I'm just like, well, there's no point in me just playing by myself. I'll go and like just let them
Give it a
kill me,
go,
then
yeah.
we can move on to the next game. However, I didn't anticipate me killing the first guy.
I'm
And
gonna shut my window.
so I killed the first guy, and I'm like, oh god, okay, this is happening. And then you very quickly notice I have like two or three shots left. I shoot 2 of these and 3 of these shots, and then I run out of ammo. But I'm very grateful to the fact that the other guys also obviously ran out of ammo, so we start running at each other pickaxing, and then I'm kind of like, wait a minute, I might as well just try one of the other rockets, see if they've got ammo. And luckily, the person I picked up had one in, fired my first shot, and it killed the guy. And then I was just so aghast with myself, the fact that I just won as 1v2. I didn't really know what to do with myself.
That
I
was
don't know
amazing.
why the guy with the pickaxe was just jumping with it. I don't know why he didn't run at you to try and hit you with it. He was just like jumping with the pickaxe.
And I had
That's
like,
amazing.
15 health, so he could have quite easily taken me, to be fair.
Let's move on to the second of your clips, because we got two for Inky, like we did for.
Just dribble down
Someone.
myself. Like,
Was it? Who was it? Who's the other person we had? Oh, it was Bob, wasn't it? We had 2 for. That was great.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right, let's. Are you ready with the second Inky clip?
Yes.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Play that clip.
Still clipping.
Am I clipping?
I'm clipping.
You're clipping. Everybody is clipping.
But it seems to only be clipping in OBS, but nowhere else.
I don't get that. I don't know what you mean by clipping.
I think like his audio was clipping.
Oh, audio.
I thought that was a nice clip. I liked it.
It's just we're dancing, we're doing some clipping.
Yeah,
It
look
was
like
just, I
you-
think we were like loading in or something. at
Yeah,
the
look,
point.
looked like everyone was having
Everyone.
fun. Yeah, love it.
I'm
I know.
subbed to you, but not following you, Inky.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's
it.
funny. I fixed
You're
it.
not,
it's
you're
fine.
not supposed to admit to that, Zendo.
I don't know. I find you a lot through raids.
That is true.
Oh my god.
It's fine. I fixed it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. There we go. Loth is raiding us with a
Loth
party.
with the raid. Thank you so much, Loth. And he dropped the form of resub for you there, Mellar.
Oh,
That's pretty
that was there as well. Thank you so much, Loth. What an absolute legend. Many shout outs to Loth, who's just playing Awesome Noughts, which
Thank
we were
you,
just talking
Loth.
about.
Yeah, check him out.
All right.
Sometimes.
So let's talk a little bit about esports, because I know that's your profession.
Yeah, so we're going
Yeah.
to go into the topic for topic 2 anyway, which is esports related. But let's hear about from your side first. Like, what do you do within your job?
So yeah, I've got an interesting one. When I tell people initially that I work in esports, it's kind of they get a bit confused. I guess is probably their first reaction. They're like, "What do you mean you work in esports?" Do you guys know like so esports obviously is competitive video gaming,
Mhm.
and I really wanted to go into broadcasting, so I went to uni. I studied media production, and then my goal was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to work for like the BBC or ITV or some sort of
Mhm.
like British sort of TV company.
Mm.
And during uni, I was like, obviously, I was like trying to get as much experience as I could, like by being a runner and stuff. So I volunteered at the local gaming festival, and I was put onto the stage, which was the Hearthstone True Silver tournament, and that was the first time I'd kind of seen esports up close.
Live, yeah.
Yeah, and I was working as a runner on the stage slash floor manager. Floor manager basically like you have obviously your TV set, and then they kind of like make sure everyone's okay. They tell you they count you into your show. They do other sort of odd jobs for like the director and stuff. So I was working as a runner. I was doing all these jobs, like learning about the place. It was like first time I sort of worked on a sort of like live TV set as well. So I was very nervous, but I got to know the people, which was really cool. This was during my second year at uni, and then during my third year, one of the guys who worked at Insomnia left to go and work for ESL. He remembered who I was, and because where I went to uni was also the same place where ESL is currently based. He
Yeah.
asked if I wanted to come and do like a freelance job for them, and I was like, sure. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how that kicked off. I got put into sort of like doing replays. So like obviously when a game is played, if there's a
Well-
particularly good moment, they sort of clip it and then they either play it straight away afterwards or they wait till the end of the game and they do like a little highlight package. So that's what I started off doing for esports. And
Okay,
I
so
started
you
doing
just
that
find little highlights for esports and play the games, stuff like that.
during the live broadcast. And then obviously as well, like they got me on to do stage managing. So I kind of did a variety of stuff. Then I left uni and I was off for 6 months, like just doing freelancing, finding jobs. And then I was really lucky where they had a full-time position going. And because I'd done my degree in media production and I had a knowledge of esports and broadcast, they kind of hired me, which was really cool. And then that's how it kind of started from there. So I was been there since January 2018.
Mhm.
And I've kind of done a variety of stuff now where I've done like directing, producing, replays, stage managing. I recently did you see the ESL on Cologne that's just happened not last weekend but the weekend before? Like
I didn't watch
tournament.
it, but I
Sorry.
I keep track of these things.
Yeah, so I back in Leicester we produced the B stream, which is like the secondary stream. And I
Yeah.
produced that, and that was kind of like one of the biggest things I've done to date currently, which I was quite proud of.
That's cool.
No, that's really cool.
So I was like liaise because obviously I'm part of the UK unit of ESL, but like ESL is quite global. The head office is in Germany, so I was liaising with like the headquarters, and I was also directing the stream. So I was telling like replayers, play your clip then, sound, play your music then. If
Yeah,
I
you're
had
pretty much running it.
and then I was talking to talent as well. So I'd talk to talent and I'd be telling them like what graphics were up next. So I'd be like, okay, so up next is group standings, followed by team rosters, followed by this. So that's what I do quite a lot of now.
Yeah,
which
no,
is-
any sponsors or anything?
Just to clarify, when you say talent, you mean the presenters of the show, don't you?
Yeah, so like the
Yeah.
casters and the analysts.
Yeah,
It's really hard because like loads of people call them different things.
Yeah.
We normally just call them talent's quite a broad term, so we normally call them like analysts or casters.
Yeah.
Analysts kind of they break down the game.
Casters is the most common I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So analysts they kind of like they break down the game between the games to be like, oh, if it's CS:GO, like what plays they made, what tactics they used. Whereas casters
Yeah.
will actually just commentate over the game.
Yeah.
But like literally, you only really have them as you go into the game and as the game finishes. As soon as the game finishes, it kind of gets thrown back over to the analyst desk.
Yes, that's
And
right.
so I kind of like help make sure.
Oh no, I totally get it. Thinking about
Yeah.
like watching CS streams and stuff, casters is like a live shoutcasting the game, and then analysts they go to like a panel of
Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
seasoned players and stuff, and then they'll talk about it. I get it now. Yeah.
I've watched Dota being done, esports, and yeah, I get all of
Yeah,
that.
Dota, yeah. A lot of casters and analysts are like sort of previous pro players or players who are kind of like middle sort of ground, but then they kind of because after you've been a pro player for a bit, obviously you hit your peak, but then afterwards, what do you do when you've hit your peak and other people start to hit their peak and get better than you? A lot of them turn to casting and stuff, which is a really cool like sort of career sort of progression. So
Okay.
yeah, like I said, I work with like a lot of those guys as well, and like I produce a weekly show on a Monday. It's finished for the season now. We're gonna have the finals in a week and a half. But I produce a weekly CS:GO show, which is for the UK sort of national championship. So like all the UK teams compete, and so I produce the show. So I work with like talent and a lot of like ideas what we want to do on the show, like what segments we can do for like a pre-show. It's quite cool. So
Yeah.
I deal more with like the broadcast side, but like
Mhm.
obviously I work with like the league operations who administer these tournaments.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a
So
lot there.
you mentioned that you do like, sort of a bit of everything, and you've sort of done all these bits and pieces. Out of all of the little bits and pieces that you've done, like what's your favourite to do?
I'd definitely say directing / show calling, where it's like you tell people what to do, you talk to talent and stuff. Like I don't know, I have kind of like a real knack for like just kind of it's quite a stressful job, and at times it's kind of like you have to learn to make like snap decisions basically. So like say something, for instance, something goes wrong, like you're about to throw to a stage to do an interview with the stage host and a player, but the player is nowhere to be seen, and the stage manager is like frantically running around trying to find them. You're just like, okay, what can we do? And like the casters are up, well, the analysts are up on the desk, and they've run out of things to say. So what do? Like you have to make a snap decision wherever you go to like a break, whether you play VT, whether you ask your team if you can put like a graphic up. Like, you have to do something, you have to be like really fast thinking. So that's something I've developed, I guess, over the year and a half working. And like I said, it can be really stressful at times where, like, especially if like you're opening a show and there's a lot of elements, you have to keep track of what everyone's doing as well. I think that's probably the hardest part. Like, you have to keep track of what everyone in the broadcast room is doing, but you also have to keep track of like what the talent are saying, and you have to keep a track of what's coming up, and you have to maybe talk to the stage manager and be like, are the players ready yet? You have to talk to league operations saying, is the server set up? Are we ready to go into game? So
That's
it's a
amazing.
lot, but it's also very fulfilling, I think.
All right.
No, that's super cool. Yeah,
I think we should move on to segment 2, but just before we do, I just want to point out it appears that we're having some slight technical issues here, so please do bear with us. I don't think it's my internet, I think it's Discord, but what I'm having to do is every sort of couple of minutes is just switch which server we're on. It fixes the image issue, but it does cause a slight interruption, so I am sorry about that. So Zendo, do you want to introduce the second segment?
Topic 2, going straight from esports into more esports. So, a huge controversial topic, pretty globally, is something we'll talk about today. And I do have to say, Marsa did this on her own little podcast, so check that out. So I did kind of steal that topic, but she loves me, it's fine. So it is esports, and does it belong in the Olympics, and where do you think it's going to go? Because obviously the Olympics is massive, and obviously you should think of the Olympics traditionally. So we'll go around the table with each other's like thoughts and stuff on this, and I've got quite an interesting take as well, I think. So I think, Inky, do you want to start? What do you think esports goes to the Olympics?
Can you hear me first of all? Because this is my mic.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm kind of a mix of both. I think no to start with. I think the esports should have their own Olympics. Basically, like esports used to be like super niche. Like, you had all these like sweaty nerds at their tournaments, back like 10 years ago.
That's kind of what it still is.
I mean, yeah. But like, yeah, you had all these sweaty nerds go to tournaments, and like nobody really thought much of it. Nobody really thought it was going to take off. Like, people were predicting it to kind of die. People still are, to be fair. But I think with esports now, especially if you think like there's all these CS:GO tournaments, or there's the Overwatch League, there's League of Legends, the LEC, LCS. I think I wouldn't put them in the Olympics because there's too many titles. Like, what would you pick to be your main title to go to the Olympics with? But you wouldn't just have CS:GO, because then like you have games like League of Legends and Dota, and then you have games like StarCraft. Like, where are they going to fit in the picture? But I think like you could do your own sort of esports event for them. So like you do like, how you have like the Olympics, and then you have the Olympics. I can't remember what's the ones that come after the Olympics. Like,
it's the Winter Olympics and the Paralympics, aren't they?
Paralympics. That's the one I'm thinking of. So you have like you'd have like that, maybe like, I hate to say, like the E-Olympics.
That's a good name for it. Lynn also put Cyber Olympics, which is cool as well.
Yeah, it's like cyber athletes. But I think like that would be cool, because then you have all these different titles, you have all these different genres, like in the Olympics, where you have like your athletics, and then you have all your swimming, and then your gymnastics. That's the same with esports, really. There's so many different games, I wouldn't know which one to put in the Olympics, basically.
You'd need a multitude, right? You'd need at least 3 different games.
And which 3 games do you pick? Like,
well, the biggest, it'd have to be League, Dota, and CS:GO, right?
Yeah, but then like people would argue like, well, you've got League and Dota, which are 2 MOBAs. Why not have a game like StarCraft in StarCraft 2, where it's like
that's fair. That's fair. It'd probably be Dota then.
Yeah. What are your guys' takes?
Well, I know that Dota, in terms of things like prize pools and stuff, is by quite a large amount the biggest of the esports, at least at the moment. Actually, I'm glad that Green Tech is here, because he's certainly a person that I've spoken to quite a lot about esports, but specifically Dota, because that's the only one that I've really watched. But we had this discussion about sort of how mainstream or otherwise esports actually is. right? And we did make the observation that when you're watching esports, you do occasionally get things that you wouldn't get on TV. You get the casters occasionally swearing. You get the occasional like slightly risque joke and that kind of thing. And we were saying about how much we appreciate that. Because like to a certain degree with TV, there's a little bit too much censorship for people of like sort of our age, our demographic, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and we were saying that if it did become like in the mainstream on sort of things like the Olympics, all that stuff would have to go away, and that would be a shame.
Yeah, like in esports, I think the reason why like part of the sort of draw of esports that people watch it is because it's like some kind of semi-casual, like you can sit down at home and play this. You can relate to the people. They wear quite casual clothes. Like, I mean, not all the time. Like, obviously you get like people in shirts and stuff, but like I don't know if you watch like ESL1, like Machine, who's like the host of it. He'll tend to wear like sort of bomber jackets and like turtlenecks. Sort of more casual than your normal sort of sports commentator. But like they also get the jokes. Obviously, you have like stuff like Twitch chat where people are commentating and people can see that real time. You don't really get that in normal sort of traditional sort of sports mediums.
Yeah, that is really interesting. It's a really good point, Mel. I didn't really think about that. How watered down it would be because I hate watching the Olympics. Because it is so boring. The cast is like he jumps, doesn't make it. like that's the blandness of the commentary, and like the casters themselves are like ex-players and stuff, like you say. So like they put their own passion into it. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe you just did that around the corner, and like because they know those situations that the players are even in, and it's like it's different passion.
I have to say I do quite like it. I've noticed that they do try and do this where they can, but they can't always do it. Where they've got the two, they've normally got the two casters, haven't they? And they've got the one shoutcaster that's doing the blow by blow, but then they've got the other caster that does like the analytics and stuff. I think that's a really good demographic, and it keeps the chat like flowing, like never stops. It's good.
Yeah. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have your play-by-play casters and you have your color casters. So your play-by-play is literally they just commentate what's happening, whereas your color casters kind of break down the action of why what player did this. They're kind of like a mini analyst on the caster desk.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Go on, Sandy.
I personally think it does deserve either its own Olympics or in the Olympics. With a subsection of different genre games, just like because if you think about it, esports is in the X Games. It's been in the X Games for a while. If you're not familiar with the X Games, that's like extreme sports, like I don't know, skateboarding, BMX, whatever, surfing, and it's been in X Games for a good couple of years now. And if it's in X Games, which is almost the wrong place for it. It should be more in the Olympics because it's more athletes rather than an extreme thing like X Games. Because if you think the top tier creme de la creme of esports teams, they have their own houses, they have their own training regimes, they have their own gym regimes to make sure their body is like a really high fitness. Or like breaking the stereotype of like fat gamers sitting and nerds sitting playing all day. Like they are actual like training their bodies to get the fastest reaction times, drinking mainly water, to try and get this to get that every edge they can on the competition. And when you think about how big these prize pools are, Mellar touched on it, but as for numbers, like I checked this the other day, the biggest prize pool we've had for esports so far has been Dota 2 last year, and it was almost 30 million.
Yeah,
30 million for a prize pool in a video game, like, is insane.
You've got to keep in mind that's shared between only normally the 5
pool.
people.
Yeah, it's shared between the top.
But still, that's
teams.
A lot of money.
Still, yeah. If you think about it compared to a few years ago, where I think at the time it was only like 1 million, and even then that was
that was the COD XP. COD did it first, I think. I might be wrong about that.
Apparently, the prize pool for TI this year has already surpassed that amount that you've just given.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'll tell you what, though, as well. I don't know if you guys knew, but esports were featured at the 2018 Asian Games. Not like as an official esport, but like as a demonstration sport, meaning medals when this event won't count towards the official
Right.
tally,
Yeah.
but they've been included again in the 2022 Asian Games. So that's kind of a step in the right direction of will
Yeah.
esports ever be at the Olympics? Like
That's-
they're kind of
good.
trialing and erroring at
And
this.
then something that I have a different take on stuff is my mother-in-law is a super clever lady. She's got an MBE. She writes laws on specifically drugs and stuff, and she's been put into divisions now to be going to esports events and doing drug testing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is quite cool, because that means, like, obviously that it's big prize money here, and they're taking it more seriously. And she hates video games in general, so we're down for that reason. But that's another story. But yeah, like, so she's actually going to go and start administrating drug tests and stuff to esports players, which is really cool.
That's really
I
interesting
think.
because that kind of goes. Oh, hello. That kind of goes into a point because you, Mr. Zendo, you mentioned something earlier that's a very. It's a very linked sort of issue that it's kind of a whole nother topic is whether or not esports professionals are athletes or not. And that's quite an interesting topic. I mean, I myself would say absolutely, definitely yes, because like you say, like they have to look after their bodies, they have to do a training regime, they have to put a lot of hours into it, like full-time job plus hours, and you sort of it went even further to sort of prove that point. They need to get drug tested. I mean, what more do you need to prove that someone's a real athlete?
Yeah.
Also, on the flip side as well, we also have. If you think about the sponsors we've been recently getting in esports, so obviously it used to be very much like companies like Razer, and
gamer
Inkycat,
related.
sort of traditional sort of esports. But recently we've kind of seen a rise in companies like Coca-Cola sponsoring the Overwatch League, and then we had DHL at ESL One. Sort of these sort of what you'd say like sort of traditional sort of sort of like sponsors, but they're coming in now because they're seeing the investment. So again, that's sort of a rise in esports coming into mainstream. And there was it's not recent, there was an article by the BBC, it was over last year or the year before, where they kind of predicted esports to be the 5th biggest sport by 2022.
Yeah, which is
Wow.
really awesome.
But yeah,
And
so you got all
2022
these-
is only what, 3 years away?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2022.
Wow.
But so you have these sort of like non you have these sort of non sort of computing sort of companies coming in to sponsor, and then you have all these articles about how esports is going to be one of the biggest sort of top sports soon, which makes it a huge contender for like it could be part of the Olympics, or definitely warrant enough to get their own sort of Olympics as we call them.
Absolutely. All right. Have you got anything else that you want to say?
There you go. Mrs. Zendo just knows a little bit more. Obviously, it's her mum. She's starting drug doping in FIFA esports.
Yeah.
So that's what she's
That's really
doing.
confusing. Yeah, because when you say FIFA, I think actual football.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
No, esports.
No worries at all. Should we move on to section 3? Or?
Wait, I want to, before you go on, Green Tech says they wouldn't say athletes in a physical sense because there are a lot of fat players. I actually hugely disagree with this because
I think it's a minority. Yeah.
it's definitely a minority now, because I've worked at a lot of various events, even sort of with like top players and sort of low sort of tier teams, and a lot of them are quite physically fit because obviously the top teams have their sort of gaming houses where they actually they're put on a strict regime by their managers and their player managers, and then even sort of lower tier teams, they have like sort of normal jobs and they do this on the side. And a lot of them, like, there's not that many fat players out there. Like, this is huge misconception of the fat players, but like no, they
I
are
can
very
literally
athletic.
think of like maybe 1 or 2 from the top teams of esports rosters that I know, and there's literally like 2 people that I can think of that were fat players.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So we're going to move on to our game. I'm just going to quickly change the thing again. We're having a few small technical issues. Do bear with us, guys. Right. So we're going to move on to our game. Right, so this is a clip game where we look at clips from Twitch of people streaming. We're going to watch 9 clips in total. There's 3 different streamers that we're going to watch, so 3 clips of each, and we're going to choose whether we follow, sub, or dip, which is the name of the game. So one of the streamers we're going to follow, one of them we're going to sub, and one of them we are going to dip. We'll speak about each one after each 3, but we won't give our verdict until the end. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
We've got the first clip is queued and ready.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Does he want to get his mic any closer?
Dang it, I have a Bundy. Oh! God, that scared the fuck out of me!
What happened to you?
We were talking about those jump scares earlier.
That is literally
Oh my
me.
God.
That's my reaction I would have if I was that guy.
No worries. Okay, so we'll move on to the next clip.
Mm-hmm.
And are we ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play that clip.
No, I'm actually not fucking kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. I am not fucking kidding.
Let me see, where are you?
I'm not fucking kidding right now.
Where are you?
I'm not
Ah! Ah! See! The moment you stop believing! Oh, yes! Let that be a lesson in life, everyone.
I have to admit, I had absolutely no idea what was going on in that, but the joy on his face was amusing me.
The chest find was like a super rare thing to find, I believe.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
And I get, by the sounds of the clip, they were like searching for this for a while.
No worries. Okay, so with the third clip then. So 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
see you.
The pussy.
Oh, did you hear that?
You're fucking
Oh,
dead.
shoot,
you
I'm out of
fucking
planks.
You suck, bro.
What, baby girl?
Trash
Ooh, I
ass
need to eat a
player,
banana.
bro. Where the fuck you guys at? I'm gonna take all your loot.
See this guy, chat? You hear him, chat?
Give me
The
your
winner.
loot. Give me your
You're a
loot. Give me
winner.
your-
What?
You're a winner.
What up, queer
No,
ass
man.
Oh, you're gonna regret this.
Gay ass eye patch.
You're gonna regret.
Fuck your mom, bro.
What?
Again. Already fucking your mom, dude. She's slobbering on my dick. I'm fucking.
Oh
It's so unfortunate because we're streaming
It's so unfortunate that you're.
and everyone can hear
What do
you.
you say?
Oh, this guy's on the ferry just
You probably
saying
got 2
so.
viewers, you fucking.
Excuse me, what?
Oh,
What's he
sorry for
saying?
you, man. Good luck. You might as well quit the game
Your
now.
fucking mom, dude.
Oh dear.
The internet never gets old.
Alright, so without saying whether you would follow, sub, or dip, Inky, what did you think of that streamer?
I liked his first clip because that's very much what I would do. Actually, I liked all of it, to be fair. The second one was super cute, and the third one was just like, yeah, you do, you dude.
Yeah, no, I liked him too. It was only Sea of Thieves that he was playing. You know,
Yeah.
I would like to see more content. I think you were going to probably say the similar thing. You know, good mic, good overlay, good in everything.
Good
I'm
overlay, he hasn't
happy with
got
him.
one.
Exactly, middle.
Fair enough. Yeah, I quite like this guy. He's always smiling, I noticed pretty much.
Thing down at the bottom right.
Oh yeah, that's cute. He's smiling a lot. I really like the way that he reacts to that, like, I don't know, we can use it called troll, just with a smile and a like,
Flame.
oh, isn't he cute kind of thing, which I think is quite funny. I don't like the audio in the second clip at all. It's not right.
Yeah.
There's definitely something wrong. I think he's got Discord turned up too loud or something. But whoever the other person is just really piercingly, gave me a headache, to be honest. All right. So shall we move on to the next clip number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready for this?
For sure.
You ready, Inky? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Ooh, baby.
Laser Pathfinder. Wraith has no shield as well.
Okay, give me a minute.
Wraith knocked.
One more.
I downed an enemy.
You're right. I swear there's just someone crouching though.
Right here.
There you go. Oh. Did you get the person?
Oh no, yeah, he was over.
Wait a minute! I just fought you guys!
Wait, that was you?
That was you guys?
Yeah, I was the one popping the Phoenix kit behind that rock. I hate my language.
No way that was you!
I swear to God.
I carried! Technically.
No way that was you!
Ready for the next clip?
Yeah.
All right. So, 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
You're dead, nigga. Bro, how did he see me, dude? I juked him. You're dead, nigga.
Oh dear.
There goes 150.
There goes $1.50.
Okay. All right. And then the what's this? The
Final.
7th clip. Is it? I don't know. I can't count. 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 6. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Right? Me, Chris, G-Man, and Cole.
When squads on Q, make sure you read up in here. Q, post your codes in the Twitch chat and on the Discord. Go top left of your screen and post on the last 3. Make sure you're wearing links or defaults. Make sure to not push defaults or links or planes until 4th zone.
Dude, what
Let's
the
have a really
fuck are
lit
you
end
saying?
zone end game. Kind of.
Jonah, shut the fuck up. Pretty sure I'd be an OG squad. Dude, Jonah kills me, dog. Jonah's in here actually like.
Nice. So after those 3, Inky, what do you reckon?
Yes, nice graphics.
Yeah.
He seems pretty funny. Yeah, that's my stunning feedback of him.
Is that what you've got to say about him? Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good with his shot calling in the first clip.
That wasn't the stream.
That wasn't the streamer.
No, that was someone else.
The
Yeah.
streamer was like, okay, I'll go get him. And
Yeah.
then
Because
Well,
I was gonna mention the shot calling because I actually quite appreciated the shot calling, and then I realised it wasn't actually the streamer that was doing it; it was somebody else, and he was staying very quiet. He was obviously concentrating, so I think I can just about forgive him there myself. I like his setup, man. Look at all this stuff in the background.
yeah, he looked really professional.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a nerd, I know he has the same headset as Ninja, which is super expensive, so he clearly puts a lot of time and money into his stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he seemed super professional. I liked him. I don't think we've seen the best of him. I don't think we got the best clips, which is just, luck of the draw, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially on that last clip, I feel like it just got clipped. It happens all the time. It gets clipped just after the thing happened.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say about this streamer, and I do say this quite a lot, is that he does seem to me like he fits slightly into the category of, plays with his friends. So it's one of those where you're just watching someone play with their friends, and I'm not so keen on that. We've discussed this before. I don't know though. It might just be the particular ones that have that have happened. If he's interacting with his friends on Discord. I haven't really seen him interact with chat. I don't think.
I mean, the first stream that didn't do that.
Yeah, I think I can see what Linky Fox is saying there. Shall we move on to the next one? So this is what 7.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but he gives the vibe of what pro player streams are like. Like, he was very Shroud, not to disrespecty.
Well, the second streamer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the third streamer then. Are we ready for clip number 7?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Oh wow! I see him.
Just a minute until the ring closes, huh? Good. It's not far.
I know what's happening here.
Clipping!
Okay.
Right now.
2 enemy squads left.
No, I don't know what to do!
He's gonna get it.
Fuck! I was stuck!
Attempts were made.
All right. So we're on to the 8th one then.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
What is that?
That is a code for your PSN, okay, your PlayStation Store, and that is $100 code.
No!
Yeah, $100 code, buddy.
No, you don't have to do that!
I got you, man. That's for being an awesome dude. No, for real, man. That's for being an awesome
good
dude.
guy,
You're an awesome
Bam
man,
Bam.
and I appreciate you for being so respectful and kind and caring and hanging out in the chat and just boosting that positivity, man. I appreciate you, and I just want you to continue on that path, dude, because you're an amazing dude. That's $100, buddy.
That's so wholesome.
Very wholesome. Too wholesome for the internet.
Yeah, you go to your PlayStation account.
Awesome. And we'll watch it to the end.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he's
man.
crying.
No
Oh,
That's so sweet. Oh,
Wow.
actually melted a little
I'm gonna
bit.
tear my eye.
All right.
Sniffles.
I really appreciated that. Let's move on to the last clip then. Are we all ready?
Yep.
All right. 3,
Oh, balls.
2.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you ready, Zondo?
Yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Got him. Damn, dude, that nade was nutty. Yo, Golden, go watch that. Go watch that on the stream.
All right. Okay.
Alright.
So, again, without saying whether you'd follow, sub, or dip, what do you think of that particular streamer?
Very wholesome.
Yeah.
I love him. Oh, that was very, very sweet. And the kid was very sweet as well. I'm not normally one for kids on stream, but that was quite sweet.
Same.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Am I going crazy? Did we see 3 clips from that last guy?
Yeah, we
Yes.
did, yeah. The
That
third
last
one
one
was
was
just really short. Do you want to watch the third one
Oh,
again?
no, yeah. It was the first one I've instantly forgot for some reason.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not good.
It's not a good sign if you've forgotten him
Yeah,
already.
that's what I
I'm
was
very
thinking.
tired.
Yeah, no worries, Mr. Zendo, that is true. Anything else to say about that one particularly, Imki?
His graphics weren't as good as the previous guy, but I think that's because he's not as professional, I guess, as the other guy.
Yeah, alright. Mr. Zendo then, what do you think?
Very wholesome. Very he was very similar content to me, I believe. That giveaway, man, that's like, you see that shit on Reddit like that. That's very wholesome.
Yeah.
I see what Inky's saying, and then on one of the clips, the overlay was overlapping the screen area, which just killed me. I was like, why? No, like the text was like half cut off and stuff. It just seemed like he just needed to resize and rejig things around, but that should not be an issue. I'm a stickler for the overlays.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was a cool dude. He played some different games. I'm a fan.
Yeah. No, actually, overall, I did like this guy. I'm surprised you didn't sort of stick him a little bit more for the overlay, actually, Mr. Zendo. Especially, I think his webcam is a bit too big. Takes up too much of the screen.
I think if it was a green screen, it'd be the right size. But yeah, it's a little bit too cropped that way. I think he could have just cropped it.
Yeah, he's very like this in his shot, isn't he?
I
like the originality of his overlay because it isn't. From my knowledge, it isn't just a free one that you can see.
Yeah, but that also makes it really hard to read, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like in the
Yeah, I
Fortnite,
guess it's hard to read,
Fortnite one,
you're
you
right.
can't really read the pink. You'd want either like white or yellow text. Yellow would look horrible, but white text should be able to read.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, okay. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I do like his background. I think it looks super cool, but I think actually, in a way, it's almost too much. That sort of slightly B-shaped, like beaded light thing that he's got in the background actually looks super cheap, and he should just get rid of that entirely.
That
I
just
think
takes away from his stream. He just needs to crop it all over. Over to like where that B ends.
Yeah, I think honestly, what you could do is just get rid of the B entirely and like just center the camera so it's in the middle. I think that would look absolutely fine. But yeah, actually, I really like the sort of the vibe that this guy gives. Even without the super wholesome one in the middle, he's got quite a nice vibe going that I really appreciate. It's certainly something that, in my opinion at least, goes really well with first-person shooter games. So I quite like this guy. So it's time for the verdict.
all of these streamers.
Yeah, actually, I did as well, which is relatively new for us, isn't it, Mr. Zendo? We normally got at least one that we're just like no. But yeah, let's should we give our verdict then, Inky? So, which one would you sub? Which one would you follow? And which one would you dip? I think this is one of the hardest ones we've ever had, if I'm honest with you.
I think so.
They're very, very similar, actually, all three of them.
Mm.
I would probably sub to the last guy because he plays a variety of stuff that I would watch, and also wholesomeness is a winner in my books. I would follow the first guy at the Pirate Beach because I feel like he very much interacts with his community, but he only plays one game. So, but I love his play style because that is like exactly how I play games. So I would definitely give him a good follow, and then I'd probably avoid the middle guy, even though he has the best looking graphics and the most professional looking one. But I think out of the three of them, I think he did have the most followers. I think anyway. So it's probably time and refinement.
All right then, Mr. Zendo, what do you think?
Oh, this is so hard. I'm like,
do you want me to go first? Because I've made my decision. All right.
Yeah, you go first.
I mostly agree with Inky on this, but there is a slight change that I would make. I did like all of them, actually, which I think is actually a first. Like I say, there's normally one that I'm just like, no, I think I'd dip. But so that makes the dip actually quite a difficult one to choose. But I think out of the three of them, I would actually sub to the first guy.
Okay.
I appreciated his positivity a lot. I like a hell of a lot. I think the way that he sort of interacts with other people just seemed like really nice. So I really liked that. Then the third guy, I'd follow him. I quite liked sort of the sort of his manner a lot as well, and of course that middle clip. I mean, that was lovely, wasn't it? But even without that, I did like the way that he sort of did things. The webcam is quite distracting, but I can totally forgive him for that because of all the other stuff that was awesome. The second guy, yeah, absolutely, he was all right, but I get the feeling that when something isn't happening that's clippable, he might get a little bit on the boring side, so I think I'd probably dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you reckon then, Mr. Zendo, if you had enough time?
Okay, yeah, so that was really difficult. Different answer from you guys as well, so that's always nice to see. Different opinions. So for the last one, actually gets my dip. It was such a wholesome, like, lovely thing he did on that second clip. But if we hadn't seen that, it would have been an easier dip for me.
Yeah.
Just because this is the content that I create, so I can be more critical, and I've seen better out there for what he does. So for that reason, he gets my dip. Although realistically, I'd follow him anyway. Then also, the second guy gets my. No, it'd be the first guy. The first guy gets my follow, and the second guy gets my sub, because the first guy who was playing Sea of Thieves, I got the vibe that there's not much chat interaction going on there. I got the vibe that it's just chilling with her friends, and then it just happened to be funny moments, but I think there'd be a lot of dead air. And then the second guy gets my sub because it's the most professional, plays a variety of games, still has that, like, those funny moments with playing with friends, but also I can see like there's a little bit more behind that as well. And like I say, the headphones, like, that means he invests in his stream a lot, and I like someone who invests in their stream because that means they want to make better content. So that is who gets my sub.
All right, fantastic.
Yes.
So I think
we're fucking on time as well. It's like fucking dead on.
Literally, it's amazing.
That never happens.
Just before we go then, do we have anything? Thank you, obviously, guys, so much for watching. We love you guys for watching. We really hope you enjoyed it. We've finally managed to get 2 weeks in a row where we can do this. So we do have another episode coming next week. Which day is it next week, Zendo? Can you remember?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, 7:00.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to be on Mr. Zendo's channel. It's going to be a special hour and a half. So we're really looking forward to that. But Inky, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Seriously, it's been a treat having you today.
Guest.
Absolutely. And to actually get to speak to someone who works in the esports industry has been absolutely amazing. So much fun. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say, Mellar, you've got the mug there. If you want to raise that to the world, that you can get your own bit-rated mug and Zendo merch as well. That link there. If you're interested in that, and you're a fan of the show, you can also catch the other episodes from. I think, have you got Command?
Yes.
There we go. Then there's all the other episodes on YouTube. There's the playlist for all those as well.
Interesting that it came up twice.
Episode, you can catch, yeah, I don't know.
Yep, so all of the previous episodes are on there. This one will be going up very soon as well. I'd also just like to say special thank you to Mr. Zendo. Thank you so much for making it today, because I know it was difficult.
Yes,
Mr. Zendo's
extenuating circumstances.
super busy with new baby, super tired. He's got like no sleep over the last few days, so thank you so much for coming
and
today.
wife's ill at the moment as well, so it's more on me as well. So and work tomorrow, so.
Oh my god. So seriously, thank you so much. So just before we go, very quickly, we're going to raid someone.
I guess I'd like to do a raid.
We've got two people that used to be that have been on the show before. We've got either Navelo or Linky has literally just started. What do you think?
Linky's just started?
Literally just started just now.
I'd say Linky.
I agree. What do you think, Inky?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
Linky said Linky.
we're gonna do a bit raid.
Raid.
Hopefully we will see you lovely people next week for our special on Mr. Zendo's channel. Thank you everybody for watching.
Much love to you faces.
And thank you again, Inkycat. Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.